We're talking with Zach Rosenfield from AccuScore.com and Steve from CollegeFootballWinning.com, previewing Week 9 in college football here on the SBR TV College Football Experts Roundtable. We've had a lot of disagreement so far on this roundtable, and we've got another very controversial line coming up, which is a game Zach wants to talk about. I'm assuming he has a strong opinion on it, which is why he suggested it. Stanford at USC. It's right now USC plus 7.5 at home. Opened at 8.5, so I know that USC did get some early money. Stanford's just been rolling everybody. Washington had absolutely no chance last week, but you look over Stanford's schedule, you're thinking, well, maybe they have kind of, had a bit of an easy schedule. Maybe they don't quite really have the defining win that would make them, a legitimate favorite of more than a touchdown here at USC, who's coming off of an upset win. Zach, I'm assuming that you're going to say Stanford rolls again.
Yeah, we love Stanford. We're 7-0 this year in games involving Stanford. That means 7-0. We absolutely feel that we have Stanford covered, that they play exactly to their simulations.
Right.
They're laying 7.5 points at USC. The Coliseum isn't exactly Pete Carroll's Coliseum. This is a Coliseum where we saw USC get trucked last year by Oregon. They lost to Arizona. They lost to Washington. This Lane Kiffin's USC is not the USC that we have come to know over the past few years. They've taken a huge step back. Yes, they had a nice win against Cal, and they really did a great job last week against Notre Dame. But Matt Barkley, outside of Matt Barkley to Robert Woods, USC doesn't have a running game. Matt Barkley keeps the ball usually underneath unless he is throwing deep to Robert Woods. Stanford's the best tackling team in the conference, and they have the best quarterback. They score, they put up the points. They don't have the quality wins, but outside of really what USC did last week against Notre Dame, where you can't take anything away from, this isn't, USC from 10 years ago. Like we said, we're 68% this year when a road favorite is laying 7 to 7.5 points. Combine that with a team that's 7-0 against the spread with our simulations, it really sets up well.
All right, Steve from CollegeFootballWinning.com. What do you think? Do you agree in this game? You've disagreed with Zach on every other game.
Not to play devil's advocate here, but since he does have a strong opinion about Stanford, I'll tell you my position is avoid this game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna make a case for why you want to avoid this game, since we just heard a strong case for Stanford. Stanford's best defense that they have faced this year is Duke. That's right, Duke. That's number 74 in total defense. USC is number 35 against FBS competition in total defense. Not the same defense as last year. Last year, USC's defense against FBS competition was ranked number 76, okay? And I'm bringing that up because last year's game with Stanford, that's right, with Andrew Luck's and Shane Scove's Stanford and their Shane Scove list this year, they went up to Palo Alto, and the final score was 37-35. It took Stanford that last-second field goal to win there. My point is USC's a much better defense this year, and Stanford has not faced a decent defense all year. I'm not saying fade Stanford. I am saying back off. And if you want a sort of betting perspective, since 1980, there have been 46 games that have been played by teams that are 7 games against the spread over 500. Those teams are 30.4% going forward. So that means 69.6% against. So you have lots of reasons right there to at least avoid this game.